Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
What's next for Dean Ambrose? I'm Ollie Davis. This is the other one, Luke Owen. Welcome to the Saturday WrestleRamble edition, where we are kicking off with the big... this is huge news.
This is the biggest news of the week.
This
it's the biggest news of the year so far.
Tied. I guess it's the
AEW,
same story
yeah.
with AEW. I think AEW becoming official really is the biggest story, but we all saw it coming because that's been reported on for weeks, or months rather. But Dean Ambrose...
That was going to be what I was going to say, is that the AEW thing, as we said, has been expected since the trademarks were filed, and then they were like, there's an announcement coming in the next couple of days, so we were all sort of expecting it. But this one really has come out of the blue.
Yeah.
This was so out of the blue that you were writing your Raw review, and I said, have you heard that Dean Ambrose has asked for his release?
Well, I thought something was up anyway. It was just a weird way that Raw angle went down with Dean Ambrose getting beaten clean by Seth Rollins. Fair enough. Rollins just won the Rumble. You want him to look strong going into WrestleMania. But the whole thing with Nia Jax coming in and throwing Dean out, and that weird promo Dean cut sitting down on the chair, I had no idea still, because Ambrose is one of those guys in the company that you're like, well, they're WWE.
Yeah, exactly.
And now now Ambrose has left, I just feel like that opens up the floodgates. And there was a report from PW Insider that this kind of sent backstage officials into a panic. And backstage on Tuesday night at SmackDown, anyone who had a year or 2 years left on their contract, they're getting them into a room and saying, so, how are you feeling? How are you feeling at the moment?
With the aim to assign them to a new 5-year deal.
Yeah.
The same 5-year deals that Kevin Owens signed. I've actually got the the PW Insider. As I noted yesterday on blah, 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 there was a big flurry of activity backstage at SmackDown as WWE officials were meeting with talent whose deals are set to expire in the next year or two, seeking to lock them into new deals. WWE has been trying to lock talent into new 5-year deals for some time, dating back to the new deals The Miz and Kevin Owens signed last year. It would appear the departure of Dean Ambrose (brackets) and the obvious potential of him heading to AEW (close brackets) set all this off, and a lot of talents backstage were in amazement watching it all unfold before their eyes.
I mean, this just must be incredible. So just picture the Dolph Ziglers or the Zack Ryders of this world. You've just become accustomed to, oh, this is my lot. I've got my dream job, but in a sort of Faustian pact, it's making me deeply unhappy, and I'm creatively stifled.
Yeah.
And now you see this thing that you never would have thought would happen. I mean, it was going to happen eventually, but I couldn't have predicted that AEW would spin off into what it's become. You get big titans like Ambrose saying, you know what, I'm not going to re-sign with you. So that's the reason he's going, by the way. Reportedly, of course. It's not because because if he had longer left on his contract and he simply asked for his release, going by what WWE have done to the Revival and the Canella Sai, they're just saying, well, you can't have it.
Unless you're Hideo Itami and they don't even know who you are.
Well, there's that, and apparently Itami's reason is because he's going to go to Japan. He's told them, I'm off to Japan, so I don't know why they don't see that as a threat, because I would say New Japan, particularly if they start working with All Elite Wrestling, very much could be a force against them. It's an amazing development.
But I would almost argue, and this Ambrose thing is such a weird scenario, because from what all the reports are saying is that for Ambrose it's got nothing to do with the money. He's not leaving because he wants more money. He's leaving because he's creatively stifled. However, in interviews that Ambrose has done, he was on Jericho's podcast, I can't remember when it was someone else posted about this on Twitter, that he has said, I would do one death match and then I'd be done. And then I would just go to the hills and I don't need to wrestle again. It's never really been about the money. So you can almost feel that Ambrose will become a CM Punk-like figure and just leave wrestling, and then that's it. And then all you've got is just people going like, when's Dean Ambrose going to come back? When's Dean Ambrose going to wrestle again? And you can almost just build this whole mystique around yourself of when does Ambrose return to the wrestling ring?
Yeah, I mean, so what's next for Dean Ambrose? Sort of title of this episode. I don't know if that will happen. I think he'll... I don't know why personally, I don't know the guy. But I just feel like he'll keep on wrestling. He's got a lot more time. It's not like a CM Punk I've fallen out of love with wrestling thing.
We don't know that though.
We don't. Yeah. But well, I guess he would have just walked out right away. But it seems like he's going to see out his contract until April when it expires. And yeah, so what next? I guess immediately he's going to be in WWE for at least 2 months, heading into their biggest show of the year, working for a company that traditionally isn't that kind to people who say they're going to go, apart from Ric Flair, because Vince McMahon just loves Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And WWE have taken the weird step of announcing this news on their website.
Which has led to people thinking it might be a work. So yeah, WWE posted, Dean Ambrose, brackets, Jonathan Good, close brackets, will not be renewing his contract with WWE when it expires in April. We are grateful and appreciative of all that Dean has given to WWE and our fans. We wish him well and hope that one day Dean will return to WWE.
This is the first ever future endeavours of WWE message.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
It really is. But the Wrestling Observer, Dave Meltzer, posted up in his very bizarre Wrestling Observer newsletter this week because he's broken his fingers and actually can't type, so he's essentially dictating it to people. It's almost like a stream of conscious. There's one bit where he's talking about SmackDown, and he's just like, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville announced themselves for the Elimination Chamber and explained why they don't like Naomi. It was bad.
Yeah, well.
That was it. So Meltzer said that when he was speaking to his sources backstage, and on Monday when Pro Wrestling Torch were reporting this news and saying, like, no one had heard this. And it turns out that it was reportedly, a very small circle of people knew about it on Monday until the story broke on Pro Wrestling Torch, and then WWE released their official statement on the subject. And he said that the creative team had no idea. Not even last minute things were written for him as a way to write him off TV. If he does right here, WWE is currently doing some weird storylines with the Revival and Ziggler, but as far as I know, this is legit. He has been unhappy with the direction of his character. WWE announcing it is indeed an out of normal MO, but it could just be a response to the news getting out, and they don't want it to be let out. And he says that there are some people backstage who think it's a work.
Yeah, it's just that this is so unlike WWE to announce it. I think the only other time that WWE have announced that someone's leaving in advance like this is Kurt Angle.
When he left,
when they were like, look, we're having to get rid of Kurt Angle. He'll finish up in a month.
Yeah.
So like in advance, I think that's what happened. I can't be certain. So it just tells your fans and everyone, oh, this guy's leaving. So don't get invested in what he's doing, which is the classic CM Punk Summer of Punk storyline to get you invested in the character.
Because on Monday, it did feel like they were going to build to a Dean Ambrose Triple H match at WrestleMania.
So, it could be a work.
It could all be a work. This could be like almost like a Brian Pillman type thing of where Dean has told WWE, I'm done in April, but had a word with Vince McMahon that I'm actually staying. And there's a very small bit of creative that know that he's staying.
Yeah.
So they can work this almost Brian Pillman-esque storyline where you are blurring the lines of reality and kayfabe. Also, you're working the boys backstage, you're working the fans. It's a legit wrestling work. So it very well could be a Pillman situation.
I mean that would be crazy if it is, especially with all the AEW stuff at the moment. I think if it is a storyline and they've done this because they think this will be a good idea overall, I think tactically it's a disaster because if you're working all the boys, oh hi, this guy's leaving because he's unhappy like all of you are, and he can go to All Elite Wrestling. That's a bad message to send to everyone and for locker room morale. So I just don't get how that plays tactically in the WWE AEW war.
But WWE themselves have been doing, like, they literally came out on TV recently and said, our storylines are bad, our ratings are bad, but we're going to turn this around. I mean, they blame Baron Corbin, but they blame Paige for announcing that match when she wasn't supposed to. But they did admit, and they did come out in this very real manner to say, we have done poorly by you all, we're going to do better. And there is I don't know, I don't know. And so there is every chance that this could be Brian. I was about to say Brian Pillman. Dean Ambrose, who's always had a bit of like Brian Pillman about him anyway.
It's the lunatic fringe.
It's Dean Ambrose and Vince McMahon have concocted this plan to work everyone, and it's going to lead to a match at WrestleMania based around this almost real-life storyline.
If that's the case, that could be hugely enjoyable. I just think that it's going to backfire for them with their talent, who are already maybe thinking about jumping ship. It's just, Revival, the Canella side, now Hideo Itami. Dean Ambrose really is so far beyond those names. Mm-hmm. Those are very, very low-level names. And then you've got Dean Ambrose, former Raw Tag Team Champion, former WWE Champion, former Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, one of the former SHIELD members. Mm-hmm. I saw someone posted on Reddit, it was just the caption, "This could be the last time we ever see the SHIELD together." And it was a screenshot of him and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns doing the fist bump after Reigns announced his leukemia diagnosis. And I just thought,
yeah, right.
That is a punch in the gut right
isn't
there.
It just? Another little interesting tidbit from The Observer is that as for Renee Young, because a few people have been asking what this could mean for Renee Young, I think some people are probably assuming that, you can't have someone who's married in a company and then their significant other works for someone else, because there's a lot of people like that within WWE that are dating people outside of the company or married to people outside of the company. But
in normal life. That's perfectly fine.
Absolutely it is. My wife does not work for this company.
She's got big heat for that. Big heat.
She worked herself into a shoot
Nuclear.
there. As for Renee Young, there's really no idea what her status would be. ESPN had interest in her in the past, but she stayed with WWE. There's no reason to believe that she would leave WWE. Many people work with WWE while their spouses don't, but she's in a spot where she's not being used effectively right now.
No, I think if you're looking at people who are creatively stifled, Renee Young is definitely miscast. There was another bit in the background of all of this, that Chris Jericho's AEW contract figure has gotten out backstage.
I found this fascinating.
So we don't know what the number is, but it's apparently in the realms of top WWE offers.
It's
not John Cena, Ronda
levels.
Rousey, or Brock Lesnar, but still top money. And a lot of people were shocked when they heard it.
Jericho has said multiple times, this is the best offer I've ever received in wrestling. And Jericho's been wrestling for 6 decades or whatever it is. He has had a lot of offers on the table.
So where I think this is interesting, if we're talking about tactics in a WWE AEW war, you've got these people handed in their notices. You've got Dean Ambrose and Hideo Itami probably being granted their releases or letting their contract expire. Maybe leaking to the locker room how much the other company is paying is also a pretty good move. Mm-hmm. I read that story and I thought, that is a chess piece.
Yeah,
that is a pronged attack
into
WWE.
Absolutely it is.
So I guess what next for Dean Ambrose? If I had to put my money on it, I would say this is legit. I think he is going to leave the company, and in 4 months' time, closer to the TV deal, if it happens, for AEW being launched in October, I think the theory is he'll show up there. Yeah,
I'm going to err on the side of caution. But I do think this is probably legit. Mm-hmm. But I've almost worked myself into a shoot now, brother, by convincing myself that it could be a work, and it's just one big mastermind plan.
And also, Brock Lesnar's going to face Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah, at AEW.
That's definite.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
definite.
much, yeah.
At 48, Full Colour Page magazine, which features wrestling news, reviews, fascinating insights and statistics, has recently turned 1 year old. And our list of readers has rapidly grown to include some of the biggest wrestlers and industry insiders in the world. Cheers, Matt Riddle. Isn't it time you became one of them? In issue 8, you can expect to find all the usual news and reviews of weekly shows and supercards, as well as our QR code system, taking you to loads of audio versions of articles, videos, and exclusive content. As it's the new year, we welcome the return of one of our most popular features, the mammoth task that is the WrestleTalk 100, where we rank the top 100 male wrestlers from across the globe, assessing the greatest pro wrestlers on the planet in order and why. The issue's features include a look at the women's evolution, and we explain why WWE's first ever all-women's show has made a difference to the landscape of professional wrestling. Greg Lambert looks at the highs and lows of the career of Roman Reigns, whose tragic leukemia announcement in November last year rocked the world of wrestling, and what Reigns' contribution to the industry really is. Power Slam's Finlay Martin delves into wrestling rivalries, revisiting Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage, and explains just why this was one of the greatest showdowns ever in wrestling history. And there is so much more. We are truly proud of the WrestleTalk magazine, and we assure you, you will not be disappointed when you get your hands on it. Order issue 8 right now, or go on better and subscribe and make a big saving in the process by clicking the eye above my head or the link in the video description below.
If you're wondering to yourself, what the heck is a crap gimmick? Well, that is a segment we do here each and every Saturday on the WrestleRamble, where you, the Swaff Nation, submit to us your crap gimmick submissions, and we decide, as the bookers of that promotion, whether we want to sign them enough. Are they crap enough? What's a crap gimmick, you might ask? Well, we like to think of it as that 90s WWF style where you are a wrestler and a blank, or more abstract. Now, I'm changing it up a little bit this month. So, previously, I've just been doing them in order.
Yeah.
But we've had such a huge backlog. I think there's over 300 submissions at the moment. I only do 3 a week. And we get new emails every week. That number's just going to keep on growing. So I started to feel bad that people have submitted these ideas and they're not going to hear them until 2022.
So you changed email address, deleted everything else, and moved to another country.
That is exactly
that's
what
I do.
Yeah, that's what I've done. I've just decided to shirk all responsibility and just wipe the slate clean.
I think that's the wise, mature move.
That is not what I've done.
Okay.
What I've decided to do is, from now on, I'm going to be doing it in order. So we're going still in August. We're in early August at the moment with the emails. But that'll be the first one. Then other submissions will be picked at random from everyone in there. So I'm just going to open up a random email, and then that'll be added into the submission. So I've got one from August.
Good.
I've got one from August, one from October, and one from December.
Oh, fun.
I think this will be a way to kind of shake things up a little bit.
Let's try it.
So this also, people were sending in stuff that were very time specific. And it just makes it people have been saying, good luck at MediaCon.
A lot of Christmas gimmicks.
Yep.
I'm sure in December.
So this comes in from Lewis on August 12th. Hello, Luke, Ollie, and Laurie. I love the channel, and I've decided to create a crap gimmick. Mine is called Sandy Orton. Sandy Teeth Orton is Randy Orton's long-lost brother. He calls Orton out each week, either in the indies or on his social media, who doesn't have him blocked like he does for Ollie. And of course, Randy being contracted to WWE, he never interacts with this guy. He doesn't even listen to indie guys. However, Sandy doesn't act or even look like his brother. He has no tattoos. He's enthusiastic. He isn't vicious, and he likes to dive. Whatever Randy is, he isn't. This makes him quite unbelievable as Randy's brother. His finisher is the STU, which is his, out of somewhere. Sandy will keep on trying to reach out to his brother as he doesn't hear voices in his head. They don't talk to him. They don't understand. They don't talk to him. They don't talk to him.
Nice use of the entrance music there. I like it. I think that's funny. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the payoff is, but I guess that's what crap gimmick wrestling's all about. That it would be a very lackluster, disappointing payoff.
Yeah.
Where there's no payoff.
Absolutely. It's even better.
Plus, I mean, so it's Sandy Orton is the name.
Sandy Orton, yes.
I guess that's fine. That's a parody. Mm-hmm. We can get around that. Randy Orton won't come after us. With the lawyers. Can
I suggest a slight tweak to it?
Go for
it. Turn this into a female wrestler, Brandy Orton.
Sandy is a multi-gendered name.
You're right, it is actually. Yeah. You're right.
Like Grease.
Yes, that's absolutely right. I've never seen it.
Have you not?
I've never seen it. Actually, I think we probably watched it at school once, but it never really appealed to me.
Oh, that's great.
Our next submission comes in from TJ on October 26th. Greetings, CG Dub executives. Let me introduce to you Wesley, the Webmaster Webster. Wesley Webster has spent many years as a bland, timid, and skinny backstage interviewer. Often bullied and tired of being threatened by his more macho interviewees, Wesley seeks revenge. However, knowing he is helpless in his drab day-to-day guise, he finds an alternative. His alter ego, the Webmaster.
Has Andy Datson emailed in
This
something?
is not Andy Datson.
Is this not him making a wish fulfillment crap gimmick booking?
He's really good at singing. No.
He's overlooked by all his co-workers.
Gone are his thick glasses and salmon-coloured anorak, replaced with a, quote, fearsome an arachnid form, complete with 8 spooky googly eyes on his chest and his extra spider arms made from large pipe cleaners.
God,
He also
it's the webmaster.
He also has a secret weapon in form of a web shooter, a can of silly string attached to his wrist, which helps him take down larger foes if he is in deep trouble.
Oh, so bad.
A speedy menace in the ring, the webmaster often tangles his opponents in the rope, leaving them vulnerable to his swift strikes and defeating opponents with his deadly finishers, the web slinger, a 619, or the Black Widow submission, which is basically AJ Lee's finisher. Satisfied with giving his bullies the deserved paycheck, Wesley Quiet slips back into his backstage role with no one having suspected a thing, except maybe one deranged journalist with a thick mustache maniacally demanding photographic proof of their connection. Many thanks to yourself, Ollie and Laurie, for the amazing hard work and dedication. You are all a wonderful bunch of lads. Lots of love, TJ.
That is painfully good.
Yeah, right?
Oh, I went through a journey there. It started with, like, about 3 sentences after you said it. I was like, WWW.
Yeah.
That's the name, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like,
I've
okay.
only just picked that up, actually.
Yeah.
That's very good.
And you'll go through and he'll be a nerd, okay. Oh, but it'll transform into something. I get the joke. It's a small person who's actually a big superhero guy. It's Clark Kent, Superman. And then he hit me with the arachnid thing. I thought you misspoke. I thought you meant to say an animal-like form, like Batista.
No,
an arachnid with 8 arms and the silly spray. It sounds... It's actually really... I really like it.
Yeah.
I really like how bad and... just hokey that is. Dean Ambrose would hate it.
I can almost see. Do you remember that scene in The Simpsons where it's like, "Hello, human fly over here, come on!" Like that's how I almost picture this character.
Yeah.
And this was when I opened up this email. I was like, "This new form is a genius idea, Luke. Luke, you've done it again." But this last, we got one more to come in. This comes from Riley, December 2nd. Raymond Rocker / Rocky. Raymond comes to the ring to rock music with his pet rock Rocky and rocks him back and forth in his arms. His signature hardcore weapon is a rocking chair. His signature moves include the Rocker Dropper or the Rocker Ram, which is a middle rope spear. Rock always attempts to get Raymond to cheat via mind control over a man in yellow bodysuit. Such as getting him to slide chairs into the ring before Rocker droppers and removing the turnbuckle pad. Rocker does not allow the cheating, telling Rocky he can handle it, usually getting rolled up or punching the rocks or just getting hit with the finishing move. The two occasionally compete in tag team action, but normally Raymond Rocker is a single star. I hope you consider this crap gimmick, and thank you to your videos to brighten up my rainy parades.
What the hell just happened? I just feel like you said Rocky at me 1,300 times.
It's more or less it. So he's a character called... hang on, I've got his
That
name
is
now.
gibberish, Riley.
Raymond Rocker, and he's got a pet rock that he calls Rocky.
I like the pet rock thing. I think that's a classic dumb person staple.
You'd give it
make
to Luke
fun
Gallows,
of.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, like a Luke Gallows, a Lars Sullivan,
Yep.
a big lumbering oaf-looking person.
But not Eric Rowan, though. He's a genius savant.
Oh, yeah. I look at Eric Rowan and I think, that guy's got a brain in that beard.
Oh, give him a Rubik's Cube, quickly.
Raymond Rocky, I've got to be honest, I was trying to concentrate there as well. I don't know what you're talking about.
So here's what I get, is
Right.
that Rocky is trying to control Raymond via mind control. I don't know what the yellow suit bit is.
The inanimate rock
Yes.
is
So
controlling
imagine
the wrestler.
Imagine Al Snow in a head, if you
Yep.
will. So
Yep.
Raymond is talking to Rocky as if he thinks he's real. And
Okay.
in his promos, he would say, Rocky is the real
Yeah,
genius of
okay,
this tag team.
That's confirmed my fears. That's what I thought it was. But I thought that can't be the idea. The rocking chair as well. I like that you've just run wild on the word rock.
I mean, even rocking him back and forth in his arms.
Yeah, punching the rocks, which I've never heard. I guess you mean the testicles.
Yeah, you should have gone with Jack on the Rocks. Like that's his
Yeah.
favourite drink.
So whereas the webmaster, they went into the webmaster and wrung it for all it was worth. Every bad idea that didn't go together, they strung it out, and somehow that coalesced together to create a good crap gimmick. This is a bad crap gimmick. I'm sorry, Riley.
So are we going to sign? I mean, I want to sign Webmaster.
I'm in for the webmaster. We should do it over the WrestleCrate.
Not only that, but I want to get this across to Artman Lou to get a trading card done as soon as possible. And if you want to... And if you want to submit a question to the mailbag, all you've got to do is become one of our awesome pledge hammers over on Patreon and leave your comment in the community section with the message mailbag, and I'll find it. Thank you to everyone who's become one of our pledge hammers recently in the lead up to Wrestle League.
Overwhelmed.
So lovely. And it's been great seeing loads of new names in the community section. It's just been great. Thank you so much.
We'll have a Ramble Club for you on Monday.
Yes, we will indeed.
Yeah.
Vicky Barton, thank you for she sent in some predictions and kind of fantasy booking about the Rumble, but we didn't do a episode last week.
No, we had fantasy booking last Saturday.
Exactly. So sorry, Vicky, we didn't get to your message, but thank you for leaving one anyway. Jonathan Hedman asks, in your opinion, what is the biggest missed opportunity in wrestling? The Invasion, Bayley, TNA on Spike, or even Sanity?
Also, out of those four, The Invasion.
Well, yes.
I can rank them. The Invasion, TNA on Spike, Bayley, Sanity.
I would 100% agree with that, yeah.
Just The Invasion, that is the climax of when the most people ever were watching wrestling in the United States, at least. You had WWF and WCW and ECW, and that is just... There's some storylines that we book sometimes, and well, that's crazy fantasy book and it's never going to happen. This was the craziest one, and it freaking happened at the height of everything. That's remarkable. We lived through it.
Yep.
I feel like I've said remarkable a lot today. I need to get some better adjectives. We lived through it, and it was so subpar. And not only creatively was so much left on the table, money. So much money was left on the table. We could have had another WCW come off of this, but that was scrapped, and we stayed with SmackDown. Oh yeah, but it's not even close.
And without the Invasion, we might not have had TNA. Or without the Invasion failing, we might not have had TNA, because the idea would have been that they would have had WCW still running as a company. We could have had WCW running to this day. Really, what killed the Invasion was the XFL. Vince was so much more concentrating on that he wasn't bothered. It's amazing hearing Bruce Pritchard talk about it, where it's like, we just didn't care. And you as a fan, you're sitting there going like, how could you not care? Simple, they didn't get any of the names. Because they didn't.
But they could have.
They could have done. They keep saying we couldn't have got the contracts, but that's because they didn't want to spend the money to get the contracts.
So short-sighted.
So it was incredibly short-sighted. I would also say, not only was it at the height of wrestling popularity, it was an angle that actively drove people to stop watching wrestling. Yeah. Like they killed that angle killed wrestling interest for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. Because you had some people were just WCW fans. Just like you've got WWF fans, and like you've got, weirdly still, diehard TNA Impact fans. You had that for WCW. And when the WWF beat them and absorbed them and beat them in a humiliating way, while saying, oh, all that stuff you used to love, it's a bit silly. Yeah. For the sake of ego... of course it's going to push them away, and they're not going to come back. Yeah,
absolutely.
Totally. 100% the Invasion.
Matthew Muldoon suggests, hi, Luke, Ollie, and Laurie. Do you see wrestling promotions like Ring of Honor, Impact, and New Japan merging as a result of the AEW launch? I don't see how Ring of Honor and Impact are going to stay relevant in a now saturated market.
That's an interesting one.
That is a good question.
I think no. No, I don't see those ones merging. I see New Japan and AEW having a working relationship. ROH will lose out there. And Impact, Impact's already working with ROH. No one will merge. They're not big enough to merge. Like, why would Sinclair buy an Impact?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Or why would Anthem want to...
try and buy Ring of Honor,
which
they couldn't afford, really.
They've all actually got quite big parent companies. Anthem, Sinclair, and Bushiroad for New Japan. And New Japan's like its own thing. They're like, just Japanese culture in general wouldn't be that receptive to a buyout or a merge. New Japan don't really like working with Impact anyway, with the TNA history. So yeah, you singled out ROH and Impact as the ones in jeopardy there.
Well, you mentioned New Japan and Impact with Don Callis as the sort of running. I mean, they nearly, according to rumor and innuendo, nearly had Kenny Omega working 30 dates for them.
Yeah.
Would have been this year. They nearly had Jericho and Omega doing 30 dates with Impact this year before the AEW thing happened, and then that just completely killed that deal.
Yeah. I think ROH will be fine because they're so good at finding new talent. Who is it? Delirious who books it. And Impact, that I really like Impact, everything they've done this last year, but yeah, it's just that they just can't break through. Unfortunately,
it's a real shame, to be honest, Impact. So it's a real shame. JVF Jack Van Fleet also posted up that he had a WrestleTalk sign confiscated from Takeover Phoenix.
They're scared of us.
Apparently so.
They know who speaks the truth.
Absolutely. Martin Harmon asked, would you rather Weezer had never released the Teal album, or are you happy we get another Weezer album in the world as it took them 7 years to release their first 3?
But those first 3 albums are Green Album's okay. But no.
Pinkerton and the Blue album.
Pinkerton and the Blue album are all-time greats.
Yep.
Pinkerton's my favourite album of all time.
Blue Album is a flawless album. From start to end, it is 10 tracks of just pure brilliance.
They just crash into each other seamlessly.
Yep.
But no, I just want them to stop now. I just want them to go away. I've had enough.
Yeah.
Teal broke me. I listened to it again over the weekend.
Oh, did you?
I tried. I thought, because I rage quit about 6 tracks in.
It was hard to be in the room with you while you were listening to it, because I could hear you seething.
Yeah.
I could really hear you seething. I didn't want to be the person who had to tell you that they had released this album.
Why were you smiling so much when you did? I listened to it. I thought, surely their take on Billie Jean will be different. No, it wasn't.
That's the most disappointing thing of it. It is a really creatively bankrupt project because they don't put their own spin on any of the songs. They're literally just covers. Right, well, Sam Farah's got an interesting question, which I like. Hey guys, hope you're all well. I'm a massive fan and love all your stuff. My question is, what advice would you give to someone like me who is trying to find friends who love wrestling? I'm an 18-year-old guy who has anxiety and is very shy, so I struggle to go out and meet people. Also, would you ever allow a fan like me to have a conversation with you at/after a wrestling show? Only asking because I said I'm shy and I have no wrestling friends. Thanks for your answer in advance. Or if you couldn't answer this, thanks for reading this question. Keep up the great work.
Oh, he wants his name changed.
He does indeed, yeah. The real life Undertaker Sam Farah. No, he said, I wanted my shout out name to be like this, but the one we came up with is much better because he is Sam Farah as I can throw you.
Well, of course you can come up and talk to us. We love it.
Absolutely, we do, yeah.
It makes us really excited.
We will talk to you about inane rubbish, though. There was a guy I spoke to at a Rev Pro show where we talked about the bus routes around Reading, and it was awesome.
So many people have come up to us at shows and instantly regretted it because we just won't leave them alone afterwards. No. We just keep chatting because we're usually pretty drunk.
Yeah.
To find wrestling friends though, the Discord, WrestleTalk's Discord seems like a pretty good place for wrestling fans to find each other. It's an awkward one because it's still a niche interest, really, and it's kind of still laughed upon, unfortunately, by large parts of society. So you can't really just declare yourself to the world. But if you wear a wrestling T-shirt, like a subtle wrestling T-shirt...
Like the one you're wearing.
Not the New Day. No. Don't go out in public wearing a New Day T-shirt. But go to work or go to college and wear that, and someone... If there's a wrestling fan, they'll nod or nice T-shirt,
exactly,
and then you're like, boom, I'll start a conversation with them.
I think Discord, wrestling chat rooms and things like that are also a good place to meet new wrestling fans. You'll end up finding people that are close to you, and then if you become friendly online, you can go to wrestling shows together and you'll find a new friend.
That's happened. We've got plenty of stories like that from Discord and WrestleTalk's Discord.
Some of our Pledgehammers have gone to shows together, meeting via Patreon.
It's lovely.
It's lovely. Couple more questions. James Dillon, a new segment on your weekend show could be Better Know a Hammer. This would be a nice way to highlight one or two of your pledge hammers by sharing a little bit about themselves. It's basically saying, do we want to do a segment where we ask, hey, tell us something about yourself, pledge hammer?
I quite like that.
I like
Not
it
on
as well.
the YouTube. We'll do it in the podcast.
That is good. That's one for Ramble Club.
Yeah.
Cameron Sykes, who is your SmackDown 6 in 2019?
Oh, well, this is Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Mustafa Ali, and Rey Mysterio. They just came out there of my face. I think Rey's important to have in there as like the big vet.
Yep.
Although AJ and Joe are also big vets, as is Bryan.
I was going to say, they're all the same age.
Yeah, Andrade and Ali seem
they're
the
your
freshest,
young pups.
But like Andrade's no spring chicken.
He's in his 30s, I think.
Yeah, so that. What about you?
I would have said the exact same names, I would have thought.
But just with Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy.
Oh, yeah, well, obviously.
Yeah.
Take out Mustafa Ali. and Samoa Joe. Or no, Andrade. Sorry, take out those two.
In an alternate universe, I wish Cesaro was a strongly pushed single star, so we could include him.
I'd have had Xavier Woods in that as well.
Yeah, Shane McMahon. SmackDown's got a fantastic roster.
Well, WWE in general has a fantastic roster. David Humphreys has asked us to find better music for some wrestlers, but I don't think you're actually going to know any of these people. Because you don't
Samoa Joe?
Well, you know Samoa Joe, but you don't know how anyone else's theme goes. Like,
No.
do you know how Io Shirai's theme goes?
Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Do you know how Mia Yim's theme goes?
Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun.
Donovan Dijakovic, rather.
Yeah, that's
But I would also say to David Humphreys, where he says that since most WWE talent music is rubbish, most of them don't suit their characters in ring. But he's got Samoa Joe in this list. Samoa Joe's got one of the best entrance themes, A, that fits his character, B.
It's and I use this term not lightly. It's a bitching track.
Oh, yeah.
It's bitching.
Yeah.
The people who say stuff like that makes me think they skipped 2005 to 2011. Oh, yeah. It's a bad
time for wrestling themes.
People go, because WWE's so rubbish these days. There were 5 whole years where it was the worst.
It's just the absolute dirt worst.
I know Dan's going to argue for it, but...
I think it's because it's the same with the prequels. It's the people who are teenagers now grew up in that era. So that's the era that they most identify with. Randy Datson is one of those people. He was a wrestling fan during that time. That's how he got into wrestling.
Yeah.
So I think when us here, these old curmudgeons in their 30s, sit there and go like, it was bloody awful, we do come across as just like, oh, back in my day, it was much better.
But I like this day.
This day is so much better. This day is so much better than it was back then, really.
Yeah.
In terms of in-ring work.
It's the middle bit that's rubbish.
Yeah. And finally, Jack Dillon's got a question. If you could party with one wrestling faction for one night, who would you want to party with?
This is an excellent question. There's only one answer. 3, 2, 1. Undisputed Era. Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Going to karaoke with Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, man. Could you imagine? It'd be brilliant.
I guess it wouldn't be good if you're a single fella, though, because Adam Cole is going to get all the ladies.
He is remarkably handsome.
He's beautiful.
I was saying this in Discord during... I can't remember. I think it was
Remarkably.
They were showing clips of the fights at NXT TakeOver Phoenix, and my comments every time I was like, Adam Cole is just so handsome. It's incredible. His eyes.
I haven't found a bad side yet.
No, he doesn't have one.
He's beautiful from all sides.
Britt Baker is a lucky lady.
Yeah. She's punching above her weight.
Right? And she's a doctor.
Yeah.
A legit doctor.
Qualified.
Yeah.
Well, should we open this bad boy? This is our WrestleCrate from WrestleCrate UK for the month. God damn it, I didn't bring anything to open the tape with.
Do you want some keys?
Give me some keys. Of course, if you go to WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the discount code WTTV, you can get a free autograph and, well, there's a signed autograph from a current WWE star, a WWE legend, and these two jabrones.
Yeah, these two absolute jabronis.
First up, we got a T-shirt.
I love a T-shirt. It looks like Ant-Man.
Who is that?
Oh, it looks like Seism's pads.
Oh, it is. That's a cool T-shirt. It's a Japanese style T-shirt.
All right, let me get into this.
You opened that.
It's a large. I can tell you that much. Oh, it's Osprey. It's Will.
Will's got a good T-shirt now.
I actually generally like that T-shirt as well.
That's cool. Can
I like
see
that
the front?
T-shirt.
Sorry, I didn't
So,
see the front.
I'm sorry. I should have shown you as well.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
I like that. That's a good T-shirt.
You'll
Will.
have a man screaming on your chest, but
when do I not?
when do you not? Yeah, we've got another T-shirt here. It's black. It's white.
Of course, it's
it
black.
Looks
It's
like
a wrestling
T-shirt.
T-shirt.
Lady. It's got the sort of NWO text. It's not a lady. It is Eric Bischoff. It's the luscious long-haired Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
And it says, The following announcement has been paid for
by the but NWO is covered up because he doesn't own it anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. And so is the one on his T-shirt as well. Still clinging on to that one good idea that he had, I see.
That is pushing the limits of copyright.
Isn't it just?
A little end. Just enough.
Just enough to give you the idea. Yeah.
That's good.
Good one, Eric.
Well done. We've got a Divid. Here. This is London, Canada, USA Classic.
Oh, I can
from
see
Smash
Tessa
Wrestling.
Blanchard.
They're good.
Our buddy Sue Young.
It's got quite a few people in there. Sue Young, Ali, Jordan Grace, who we love.
Jordan Grace, love
Tessa
Ali.
Blanchard, Vader Scott.
Ooh, Jessica
Does she
Havoc.
wrestle still? Jessica Havoc. And everyone else I don't know. But that's cool.
That is good.
We've got a pin.
Love a pin. Who is it?
Sick Boy. I know him. Where do I know Sick Boy from?
Wrestling.
You're welcome. We've got a little figure, a vinyl figure. We don't know what the vinyl figure is. Open it.
I will open it. I used to love these sorts of things.
Your house is covered in them.
They are. But the only one I've still kept is because it was the Marvel when they did them. The only one I kept was Daredevil. This was the only one I really wanted. So it could be Cena, it could be Sting, it could be Ted DiBiase, it could be Kevin Nash, Goldust, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Bret Hart, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Dusty Rhodes, or Steve Austin. And it is...
Ooh, who's going to join the gang at the front?
There's another bag. Plastic as well.
This is the ultimate. This is a box. This is a bag out of a box out of a box. You get your unboxing thrills here.
And so much plastic. It's Seth Rollins. It's Royal Rumble winner Seth Rollins.
I like that outfit.
Yep.
I love the white and gold version of that. We've also got a signed animal print.
Hello, mate.
That's awesome.
Former tag team champion.
Doug Williams.
Oh, what an absolute British wrestling legend.
Are you going to hang that up on your desk?
Well, I think we told the story in the podcast before when I saw him at Wrestling MediaCon and I was too intimidated to say anything. I don't think I made a tit of myself. I was just too intimidated to say anything to him because I've loved Doug for a long, long time.
We've also got a little thing here that came with the pin. Actors wanted. Do you love scary movies? Have you ever wanted to star in one?
Have done, mate.
Well, today is your lucky day.
Oh.
I'm looking for eager men and women of all shapes and sizes to star in a series of horror movies.
How inclusive.
To audition, make a 30-second video stating your name, age, location, and why you're right for the role. What role?
Well, I don't know what the role is.
Auditions should be sent to tapes at... I won't read that out. Or tag them with Video Nasty. Maybe Video Nasty.
I was going to say, if you're going to tag things with Video Nasty, I'd imagine already there is a lot of Video Nasty stuff because it's quite a popular phrase. In fact, I'm going to do that now and see what comes up. Video Nasty.
Top content.
Top content.
Don't worry, the plugs are coming soon.
In all fairness, a lot of wrestling stuff. Rory Wrestler.
So he's a wrestler, is he?
Well, here's a video for a post about Snuff, which is a Video Nasty. Some more Video Nasty, some more Video Nasties, more Video Nasty stuff. And WrestleCrate.
There we go. Well, if you want to get confused by a little thing and also get loads of cool merch out of a box.
Someone has claimed that Friday the 13th is a Video Nasty. It is not.
Click the link in the video description below and use the discount code WTTV when you get there. I've been Ollie Davis, this has been Luke Owen, and that was Rambling.